only person who engaged in lifestyle decisions and lifestyle choices that I just happen to think can better be described in slow motion. I really believe that. Now, Anthony Bourdain, obviously, this was not slow motion. Robin Williams, I mean, it was a singular over in a very, very short period of time. But, you know, David, you see a lot of these people, I mean, and I'm sure people, like, we see them in our everyday lives because, you know, we don't hang out with celebrities in our everyday lives. We just hang out with everyday people in everyday life. But I am disturbed and shocked that suicide, David, is now the number 10 leading cause of death in the United States. We are killing ourselves in the United States more than breast cancer is killing us.
It's unreal. And the other thing that's, you know, I mean, look, the 22-a-day program by the VA, so many other veteran groups trying to remind people that 22 veterans were dying a day to suicide. I think people, again, automatically drew the wars, stress, and thought, man, this is a veteran problem. So you knew, you know, veteran groups of people who were moving legislation to Washington. This was, when the economy is bad, people take their own lives. Now, because a lot of media have policies where they don't publicize suicides, you don't tend to hear about self-death. The other thing is, we thought to ourselves, well, every person that's overdosing is overdosing because accidentally. And then we found out that some of those numbers are actual suicides that people meant to do. We're now seeing that, you know, suicide is eclipsing homicides by 2 times. 40,000 suicides last year. And I think all of our focus has been towards demos that are really the wrong demo. It turns out it's middle-aged men that are committing suicide. It's not confused, disgruntled young people.